It's Platt, and today we drink a donut. That's next to Platt's Beer of the Week. So the particular beer we have today is Holy Donut. Comes to us from the fine folks at Lone Pine Brewing. Actually, this specific beer is their dark chocolate toasted coconut variant. Holy Donut is actually a collaboration between Lone Pine Brewing and Holy Donuts, a donut chain based in Maine. A little background on Lone Pine Brewing. Lone Pine Brewing is located in Portland, Maine. They have two tap rooms, one in Portland, one in Gorham. The Portland tap room is home to the largest beer garden in Portland, Maine. Now that might not sound like a lot. Portland, Maine is not a huge city, but Maine has quite a history with craft beer and craft brewing. And so actually the largest beer garden in Portland, Maine actually means something, which is kind of a cool selling point. The brewery was founded by Tom, the head brewer, and John, the director of business. Besides that, there's not a lot of information on the brewery. The website, nice website, looks good, just not a ton of information either on the history of the brewery or the beers themselves, besides a couple of featured beers. The Facebook was started in 2015, so I'm going to assume the brewery was started somewhere around there. But if anybody from Lone Pines Brewing is watching, you might want to flesh out the website a little more. Next, the other half equation, Holy Donuts. Holy Donuts was founded by a lady named Lee Kellis. She started this adventure probably about a little over 10 years ago. She was looking for a high-quality donut without a lot of processed ingredients, kind of the kind of Dunkin' Donut, Krispy Kreme thing. And in her research and making her own donuts at home, she found the secret recipe, which was Maine potatoes. Now, I've heard of potato donuts. I've never had one, but I love potato buns for like bratwurst or like a burger. That potato just provides extra moisture, extra softness, just makes a great bun for, again, hot dogs or burgers. So I can see where that would really add to a donut. She started selling donuts out of her apartment at first. I think selling to like some coffee shops. Finally gained some traction, and her father opened up the first location. Today there's 3 locations, and they sell over 2 million donuts a year. It's kind of cool little story there. Real quick, let's talk about some of the other beers from Lone Pine Brewing. First is Portland Pale Ale, a 5.2% ABV pale ale. It's their flagship beer, and again, you're starting a craft brewery, you might want to come out with kind of a straightforward style, and pale ale obviously works for that. Next is Galaxy DDH OJ, OH/J, 8% ABV, double dry hop, that's the DDH, juicy double IPA. A lot of doubles there. This is part of a series of beer, the OJ beers. The juicy IPA, different juice, kind of flavors in there. They're all double IPAs, and they're all double dried hops. So you hop heads, that is definitely something for you. Next is Blueberry Sparkler, a 4.8% ABV American Sour Ale. This is part of their Sparkler series of sour ales. They have about 4 or 5 of them. Again, each one's a little different flavor. This one obviously being blueberry. Lastly is a beer that kind of really has my attention and something I'll definitely look for. Maple Sunday, a 5.1% ABV maple brown ale, or a breakfast brown ale made with real Maine maple syrup. I've had a couple of these maple beers. I think I've had a brown ale and a porter, and maple syrup just matches those notes you get off of darker malts. It really works well. I think Rogue Brewing and Voodoo Donuts did like a maple bar beer a few years back, and I remember thinking they hit a home run with that. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for this one. Overall, Lone Pine has a pretty extensive line of beers. IPA heavy and double IPA heavy, but nothing too ridiculous. Obviously, with the Holy Donut, they have a line of pastry stouts. They have a line of the fruited sours. They even have a line of hard seltzer, and they do a hard seltzer with Holy Donut. Apparently, Holy Donut has a margarita glazed donut. It's that margarita glaze that is the base flavor for the hard seltzer. Kind of an interesting combination. Well, before we try this particular beer, though, let's check out the stats. So, at the time of this recording, I'm recording this February 2022, and I don't want to jinx anything, but it almost feels like potentially we might be seeing a light at the end of the pandemic tunnel. Let's hope so. And I just want to give love to an industry that's been kind of beat up through this process. I mean, everybody to a certain extent has been beat up through this process. We've all lived it, especially bartending in Las Vegas. I totally get it. But I want to give some love to the craft brewing industry. It's tough in regular times to start and run a craft brewery, and this pandemic thing's just been insane. The craft brewing industry provides a lot to the economy, and even in 2020, they provide $62 billion to the U.S. economy. That was obviously a terrible year. It provides 400,000 jobs. In California alone, it added over $7.5 billion to the economy in 2020. It just, in a time where we kind of need to get things going, the craft beer people, because it is a labor-intensive business, provide jobs, provide the economic exempt we need. And it's not even just craft beer. When you add in the big and medium-sized breweries and conglomerates or whatever, in 2020 when the pandemic hit, 568,000 beer-related jobs were lost. Hopefully most of those people have got back to work, but just asking you folks out there, if you're out and about and finally kind of getting out, want to do things, have a night out, hit a local craft brewery, give them some love. We could all use it. Well, enough about craft beer. Let's drink one. Oh, this pours motor oil black. I can already tell I'm going to like it. Really dark khaki head, almost a finger's worth. Getting pretty much just dark malts on the nose. You're not going to get a lot of hops on a beer like this. Yeah, I get a little bit of the dark, when you get real dark malt notes, you kind of start getting in the darker fruit, fig, stuff like that. Let's give it a try. Ooh. That is nice. That's real nice. That is definitely dark chocolate, but it's mellow enough. Again, real dark chocolate, you get kind of those astringent espresso notes. The dark coffee kind of espresso thing's there, but it's not astringent. I don't get a ton of the coconut on this. I do get those dark fruit notes, like we got on the nose. It comes out in the mouth. I'm going to say medium plus aftertaste. This doesn't linger too long in your mouth, but it's definitely going to punch you with some flavor up front, especially the sweet notes. Man, that's just a good chocolatey, easy going down stout. Again, I'm not picking up a lot of coconut, but man, I could drink this all day. Actually, I would love to have this recipe and turn this into a milk stout. I bet if they add a little lactose to that, it would just next level. But overall, really good, well-executed beer. I like it. Well, I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or beers that you'd like me to try, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.